where are these terms minority, majority even coming from? This is not a traditional Indian discourse at all. We never spoke in terms of majority or minority, right? Where does this majority? So this is all coming from European politics and European history. Now we have to understand a bit of European history, which is they had this whole set of wars that were happening in Europe on the basis of religion. 100-year war, all these 30-year war, all these conflicts were happening. What was the conflict about? It was when Protestant movement became stronger in Europe. The kings or the states that had become Protestant would persecute the Catholic minority, and those that had become Catholic would persecute the Protestant minority. So, because the nature of Abrahamism is totalitarian and exclusive, right? Similarly, Islam defined rules for minority because just allowing them to live in Zimmi status was a big benevolence.
Yes, the Act of Umar, if you remember.
Exactly.
And what is called the Code of Shah Hamadan in Kashmir, which again I have listed out in my book.
Yes. So by this code, the Zimmi minority cannot build any new religious places. They cannot repair their old places. They cannot, ride on a horse or on anything which can be higher than the believers. So there is this whole set of laws which are basically apartheid laws. In fact, this is where the yellow badges for minorities came by the Caliph. Yes. That was then adopted by Hitler for the Jewish minority. So there is a whole history, and this history comes from Abrahamism. It comes from this totalitarian idea that only the people who are believers are good, everybody else is bad or is satanic or is going to hell and they need to be suppressed. That is the reason why even this debate on majority and minority occurs. It occurs because in that religious belief system, anybody who was not of that major belief system was subject to persecution. So they had to create some basic safeguards. This is a problem that has never happened in India. India has been a land where when the Parsis were fleeing Islamic persecution, they came and sought refuge here. When the Jews were fleeing Christian persecution, they came and sought refuge in India. When the Tibetan Buddhists were fleeing communist persecution, Chinese persecution, they sought refuge in India. So this is the place which is where people go to get sheltered. So the very idea that we had to borrow anything from Europe, even this whole debate on majority minority had to be copied from Europe, is completely absurd. There is no need for it. In fact, India had much better plural safeguards taking care of all the different variety of communities without having this notion come in, and this notion in the constitution actually taking us away from pluralism. I'll give you one more example. Hanji, Sanjay.
Before you give that one example, let me point out the height of absurdity. Of course, we talked about the Sachar Committee. After the Sachar Committee, of course, we had this great benevolent announcement by our Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, that Muslims, not even minorities, says Muslims, have the first right over the resources. I mean, what kind of a Zimmi state is this?
No, it's an apartheid. Just like white people who are a minority have first right on resources in South Africa, and the entire world said, we are going to not even let this state play in the sports. India is a religious apartheid state, which says majority has less rights, minority has higher rights.
And that comes from their status as ruling powers over the last 700, 800 years. And of course, we were lucky that that government went away. Otherwise, it would have probably formalized the arrangement completely, and it would have brought that targeted communal violence bill, which would have actually placed the onus of every affray or every disturbance on the majority community. That would have been the culmination of the concept of apartheid.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the unfortunate thing is that even with the change of government, there has been plenty of discriminatory schemes, not only discriminatory schemes, but new discriminatory schemes that weren't there earlier. So this to me is the real tragedy of it, and we are going to go over some of those charts later about why this is a real problem. This is really problematic. But before we do that, one of the other things that I wanted to mention was that this notion of religious identity being primary is also coming from Abrahamism. This is also a very problematic notion. For instance, why is it just the religious identity that is being measured this way? We can say all fat people are a minority, all the people who wear glasses are a minority, all the people who are left-handed are a minority. Why don't we have all the schemes for left-handed people, right? So you can partition a country in thousands of different ways, right? Any population can be, any attribute. You can say doctors are a minority, engineers are a minority. कोई भी हम आधार ले सकते हैं और कह सकते हैं ये माइनॉरिटी और वो मेजॉरिटी है. हमने मजहब को आधार क्यों बनाया? वो भी उसी सोच से बना है जो पार्टीशन वाली सोच है.
एग्जैक्टली.
वो पार्टीशन वाली सोच ही है जो मजहब को आधार बनाती है, मजहब पर मापदंड करती है कि ये मजहब में ऐसा है, ये इनके परसेंटेज इतना है, इतना परसेंटेज लोअर है. हमारा जो सारा सेक्युलर डिस्कोर्स है, और ये सेक्युलर डिस्कोर्स कहां से निकला है? फ्रॉम द कॉमनल अवार्ड ऑफ द ब्रिटिश. और उसके बारे में भी आप थोड़ा सा हिस्टोरिकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट देना संजय जी. ये कॉमनल अवार्ड, the British first started this census of measuring the communities and ascribing religion. As I said, in America, you cannot even ask for the religion in the census. So very strangely, in a country which does not have religious identity as a primary identity, this religion was measured, it was imposed, and then this whole notion of separate electorates was started. This was started by a combination of British politics and Muslim politics. This whole notion of separate electorates was started. And now the entire country is being divided. It has already been partitioned once and it's continuing to be divided. और दूसरा मेरा सवाल है कि माइनॉरिटी का मतलब कि एक मेजॉरिटी एग्जिस्ट करनी चाहिए. यानी कि जो एक पहले रिलीजन एग्जिस्ट करना चाहिए. यूरोप में डिनोमिनेशनल मेजॉरिटी थी. एक चर्च कंट्रोल करता था सब लोगों को, और वो चर्च से जो बाहर लोग हो गए उनको आपने माइनॉरिटी कर दिया. यहाँ पे तो ऐसा कोई चर्च ही नहीं है. कोई हिंदू चर्च नहीं है जो कह रहा है सब हिंदुओं को वो कंट्रोल कर रहा है. ऐसा कोई आइडिया ही नहीं है. भाई तमिल ब्राह्मण माइनॉरिटी क्यों नहीं है? कश्मीरी पंडित माइनॉरिटी क्यों नहीं है? सारे हमारे अलग अलग जो हर कोई पंथ है जो, और हमारे हजारों पंथ हैं, हजारों जातियां हैं, सब अलग अलग माइनॉरिटी हैं. आपने उसको एक मेजॉरिटी बनाई कैसे दिया? एक सवाल आता है. दूसरा सवाल ये आता है, अगर आपने जापान को देखा, जापान में उन्होंने सर्वे किया कि आप ये धर्म के आधार पर सर्वे किया. वहां पे शिंटोइज्म है और बुद्धिज्म है. तो 80% ने बोला हम शिंटो हैं और एक 90% ने बोला हम बुद्धिस्ट हैं. यानी कि 70% लोग कह रहे हैं हम दोनों हैं. हमने वो आइडिया भी निकाल लिया कि हमारे एक्सपीरियंस के अंदर, जैसे बहुत अगर आप सेकुलर उसमें भी पढ़ोगे ना, और मेरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस सेकुलर उसको भी छोड़ दो, हम गुरुद्वारे में मत्था टेक लेते हैं, ठीक है. हम जब मैं यहाँ पे पहले भारत में रहता था, बिफोर मेरे को क्रिश्चियनिटी का वो पता लगा कि दे थिंक आई एम गोइंग टू हेल एंड ऑल दिस आइडियाज, मैं आराम से चर्च चले जाता था क्रिसमस के ऊपर अपने क्रिश्चियन फ्रेंड्स के साथ इंडिया में. तो हमको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, बिकॉज हमारा आइडिया नहीं है कि ये सैटेनिक है, ये हेल जा रहे हैं, ये डेविल वर्शिप है, वो सब आइडियाज ही नहीं है हमारे पास. यानी कि जब सरकार एक स्कीम निकालती है और वो कहती है कि अगर आप क्रिश्चियन अपने आप को आइडेंटिफाई करते हो तो आपको स्कॉलरशिप मिलेगी, और अगर आप हिंदू आइडेंटिफाई करते हो तो स्कॉलरशिप नहीं मिलेगी. That scream is saying you must have an exclusive religious identity, right?
Correct.
It is premised on this basis कि you have to have, अगर जैसे मैं हिंदू हूं, मैं अगर ये विपासना कर लेता हूं तो मैं बुद्धिस्ट बन गया क्या? क्योंकि अब बुद्धिस्ट अगर मैं कहूंगा अपने आप को तो मेरे को स्पेशल स्कीम मिल जाएगी, है ना? तो आपने रिलीजियस आइडेंटिटी को पार्टीशन कर दिया है, यानी कि दिस all of the so-called minority schemes are the most communal schemes that are possible, because they are completely dividing up the country, saying your religious identity has to be exclusive and it is a fundamental determination on how the state is going to deal with you, right? अच्छा, अब मैं लेट अस से मैं क्रिश्चियन हूं और मैं स्कीम में अप्लाई कर देता हूं, लेकिन अब हाउ विल आई प्रूव आई एम क्रिश्चियन? गवर्नमेंट कहती है, जो आंध्र प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट क्या कहती है कि अपने पास्टर से सर्टिफिकेट लाओ. नाउ मे बी आई एम अ क्रिश्चियन दैट डजंट गो टू चर्च. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू बी फोर्स्ड टू गो टू चर्च because I have to get a certificate from the pastor. That means the state has suddenly made the power of religion paramount in people's lives, and we are calling this secularism. So the very idea कि आप मजहब के आधार पर जो सरकार है वो भेदभाव करेगी, उससे क्या होता है कि पूरा का पूरा जो आपका सामाजिक स्थिति है वो बिगड़ जाती है. अगर कल है कोई मुसलमान है, वो घर वापसी करना चाहता है, वो एक्स मुस्लिम भी बन गया लेकिन उसका नाम मुसलमान का है, अब वो कहेगा कि अरे मैं अगर मुसलमान रहूंगा तो मेरे को स्कॉलरशिप मिल जाएगी. तो ये हो रहा है ना आपके जो हमारा सौहार्द बनना है, परस्पर सौहार्द बनना है, जो जिसको कहने को सेकुलर्स कहते हैं कि वी वांट अ सोसाइटी व्हिच इज गोइंग टू बी we don't want religious conflict, we do all that, but all of the schemes are creating religious conflict.